As a 40 something year old woman and a mother, there are a few things I have learned. They're no longer worth the money. There are also things on this list that I've always known were not worth the money, but people are still spending money on it. Not this year, not in 2026, the year of who the heck knows what's going on. We need to be better managers of our money to make it more efficient. That's why I always say wealth is not the flex, management is. So, as we go through the list, if you have anything else to add on based on your experience and wisdom, please share with us in the comment section. And if you get anything from this video, don't forget to hit the like button because Loveth is trying to grow the channel. Let's start off with the one that irks me the most: subscription-based services. Anything that requires me to pay monthly to receive the service, it's not worth it. Now, let me clarify. I'm talking about things we used to pay for one time and we own it, that has now become subscription based. Not for me. It's not worth it. You know what? It is mastery on their end. It is a clever way to get us to pay more. So whatever month we don't pay for this subscription, then the item is just sitting in my house collecting dust. It's pretty much useless to me. No, I'll give you an example. Printers having subscription based ink. So whatever month I don't pay for my subscription, then I can't print, then I don't have ink. Heck no. No. I would rather stick to my old school printer that uses old school ink cartridge. I would rather stick with that, as ugly as it looks. It's not aesthetically pleasing. And yes, I have to go to the store to buy ink cartridge, and those ink cartridge don't last forever. I would rather stick to that than have a system where I have to pay monthly. It comes down to my monthly cash flow. Anything eating into my monthly cash flow where it becomes a must, where I have to pay it every month, we have a problem. I want the freedom to pay for a service when I need it, when I want to, not because, well, it's the only way I get to have it. The gym, not worth the money for me. No offense if you own a gym or run a gym, but for me, it is not worth the money. Not when we have YouTube. And mostly because I know if it requires me leaving the house, chances of that happening is very slim. Not in this Nebraska winter. I am not, once I get home, I'm home. And I am not leaving this house super early in the morning to go work out. Not happening. And so the whole point of me going to the gym is because I want to get in shape. I have a better chance at getting in shape if my getting in shape happens in my house, wearing whatever I want to wear or letting it all hang out while I work out. It is a lot better and it saves me money. YouTube is free. So many different videos on YouTube. The day I only have 30 minutes, I have that option for 30 minutes. The day I only have 15 minutes, I have that option. If I want to dance, workout, it's on there. If I want weightlifting, it's on there. And then I have a treadmill. I have a treadmill I can use now. And so it's no longer worth the money for me to spend money on a gym membership. And once again, monthly subscription, not worth the money. Early access fee. It's not called a fee, it's just early access to anything, be it a gadget, be it video games for those of you who play video games, or be it a membership for early access to anything. It is not worth the money. I have patience as a mom. I have patience. My patience has grown. I can wait. Early access for anything or being the first to use anything, especially with gadgets, with tech, all you're doing is paying to be the developer's guinea pig. You know, you get to test out their system to let them know if there are any kinks and bugs in the system. It's not worth the money. It makes no sense to buy the newest phone or the newest whatever. Just wait, give it 6 months, and you would have even a better product come out because now they know what is wrong with the initial product and they can fix it and get you a better product. Or their competitor will come up with a better product to get your money. It's no longer worth the money just to be the first or just so I can say I have it. No, I'm holding on to my money. Expensive toys, games, items for the kids. Parents, hear me now, especially if you're new parents, hear me now. Yes, they'll be so excited when you buy it. They'll be so happy. They will use it every single day for a week. And then that's it. That's it. That's the end of it. Now, if you want to buy it for your birthday, that's great, but do not let them emotionally blackmail you to spend so much money on this toy or game or whatnot, because I have learned it is not worth the money. You will walk into that playroom and stare at that product and just go, oh, because you're seeing your money just sit idle and it's not a big deal to them. Now, when we buy them something that is maybe expensive, birthdays, Christmas, that is when we do it. And at that point, it's justified. To me, in the parent handbook, it was written on there, it is justified. I can spend money then. And every year is different. One year is crybabies, the next year is the squishy, the squishmallow. Squishmallow, yeah. And then the next year it is what is it, Labubu, or it is. Oh, remember when the puppets came out? Puppets weren't expensive, but remember when it was all about the puppets and the different puppets, and then slime. Oh my gosh, the slime company need to pay me for the damage they did to my carpet. Slime. It's every year. It's always something. So I have learned it is not worth the money to give into the emotional blackmail of buying it. I want it so badly. We save that for birthdays and Christmas. Then we will give into whatever they want because they're kids once and for all. And listen, that's what Christmas and holidays and birthdays are for, right? And that's why we work hard. But any other time of the year, the heck, it is not worth the money. I have learned based on experience. Hold on to your money. Account maintenance fees. If your bank charges you money to keep your money in 2026, it is not worth it. There are so many banks out now, both online and traditional, credit union, whatever union. They are willing to get your money without the extra fees. So you simply just have to shop around. A simple Google will help you. You can open accounts that do not have fees. I remember back in the day, and this is where age comes in handy, because I remember when we used to pay monthly fees for an account, for our checking account, and it never made sense to me. Just couldn't understand why I'm paying you to hold money when you want my money. You use my money daily and I'm paying you. So thank God in 2026, that is unnecessary. That is not worth the money. There are so many good banks out here that do not have maintenance fees. Speaking of fees, late fees, it's just too expensive of a price to pay for not being organized or not setting up auto pay. Not in 2026. Not in 2026. It makes no sense. It's not worth it. I have come to learn it's just not worth it. And it's also not even worth the time it takes me to call up customer service and go, listen, you can see I have the money and I had the money. I just did not pay on time. Can you forgive me? And can you forgive this fee? And then having to think, have I done this twice in a year because they have a twice a year limit or a 6 month limit? It is not worth it. There's so much going on in this year of who the heck knows what's going on. It's not worth it. I don't even have the time to make the phone call, right? It's not worth it. Set up auto pay or bill pay to send the money every single month. And that way you never have to worry about late fee. Overspending maxed as savings. Here's how it works. You're trying to save money and so you buy an item or product. But unfortunately, you end up overspending for that product that you negate whatever it is you were trying to save. So you've decided you would no longer buy coffee every single day. You will make your coffee at home. Great. But now you've bought this intricate coffee maker that costs so much money that when you add up what you spend on coffee each year, it doesn't even add up to this coffee maker you've just bought. It will take you about 3, 4 years to break even. And we all know just because you've bought the coffee maker doesn't mean you will never buy coffee outside. So at the end of the day, you've spent so much money on this thing that is supposed to save you money. I see it so much. The latest one that wanted to get me was an ice cream maker. My daughter has allergies, and so it made sense. Hey, we can buy this ice cream maker, and I can make her ice cream, different flavors, different whatnot. It made sense. But then I looked at the price and I asked myself, if I took the price of the ice cream we usually buy, plus 2 minus 1 divided by 12 months of the year. So it is not worth the money. It is sold to us as saving money, but the only way it would save you money is if the amount of money you spend on that item is a lot less than what you spend on the item itself every single year if you don't buy it. Just because it saves you money doesn't mean you spend so much money on it. It negates the whole point. Smart home devices. Paying more because something has been made smart, but functionally, they're pretty much still doing the same thing. There hasn't really been an upgrade in its functionality. I'll give you an example. If you have one of these, I'm not picking on you. I'm sure there are places you're saving money and I'm wasting money. So, tomato, tomato. I'm just saying for me, this is one of those. This is a great example. You know those refrigerators that have a screen where you can see what's in your fridge and it has an internet so you can watch YouTube or TikTok. Great. But the thing is, when it comes to what I needed to do, which is to keep my food cold and frozen, that hasn't changed. It hasn't upgraded anything. So I'm only paying more so I can see inside my fridge at the store and I can watch YouTube and TV or the internet on it. But I have my phone, I have my iPad, I have my phone stand. I can already do that. I don't need the refrigerator to show me YouTube. And okay, fine, when I go to the store, I can quickly check the refrigerator to see if I have something. But how about the pantry? Is there a camera in my pantry so I can see if I have stuff, if I need to buy something? So this problem is only solving, or the solution is only solving one problem, which is my fridge, but not the pantry, which has 80% of the food, which is really why I need to know when I'm at the store if I still have something. It is not worth the money to pay more just because something has been smartified. I see the toaster. I'm always coming at this toaster, this $300 toaster. A toaster, we can toast bread just fine, but now you've added a screen or a smart device so I can just touch screen and toast my bread. I can toast it to perfection. The heck? It is not worth the money. It's just another smart way to siphon more money from us for the exact same product. I don't do collectibles. They are a waste of money. They are slavery. Oh, why am I saying slavery? What? It enslaves you because once you get started, then you almost feel like you have to keep going. You have to keep acquiring because this is what you do. But really, they are a waste of money and a waste of space. And they're just clutter. And when you pass, when you go, when you leave with nothing, it's just a burden on your kids and they end up just selling it. I've been to so many estate sales, okay, just a few estate sales, and there's always on there all these collectibles because it means nothing to them. And guess what? We don't want to buy them either. So it's a waste of money. A lot of us do collectibles too when we travel, souvenirs, and a lot of the souvenirs just ends up being, they take up space. You end up giving it away to Goodwill or it just sits there in your house. You're never going to use it again. So for me, when we travel, what I do is just a picture. One of the pictures we take there becomes our souvenir. Clever way to even do that. You could make an ornament out of it for your Christmas tree at the end of the year. So every year you actually bring out this souvenir and use it. I'm not spending money on collectibles. They're a complete waste of money. Random buys, random Amazon buys, random TikTok buys, random store buys. These are things that you don't necessarily need it, but at the time it seems to make sense and it seems to solve a problem. But really, when you bring it home, it's not practical. I'll give you an example. I bought this case for avocado where you keep your half eaten avocado. They have one for onions, they have one for oranges, for lemon, and all that. And when I first bought this, I bought this from the store, from Walmart. It made sense. We eat avocado all the time. And, I'm such a good wife. I always keep half for my husband, is the thing we do now. I eat half, keep half. He does the same. And so I thought, this is a great way to do it so it doesn't brown. I don't even know where that thing is. It's in my cupboard, but I rarely use it because when there's a leftover, I do what I've always done. I grab a Tupperware and I put it in a Tupperware, and that's it. I don't need an avocado shaped container to store avocado. I almost bought one for onions as well because, hey, I cook, I use onions, I have leftovers. And I reminded myself, you didn't use the avocado one. So, no, grab the Tupperware like you've always done, or grab a sandwich bag. You've already bought the sandwich. Use what you've been using because I usually think about how am I actually going to use this thing? How often am I actually going to use it? And then who is going to clean it? Once you have it, you have it. And now you're responsible for it. So any of those random buys or those random products, when you watch the video, they seem to solve a problem. But when you think, just give yourself a minute and think about it in real life. Sports betting. The US legal sports betting industry generated $13.7 billion in revenue in 2024. That's a 24% increase from the previous year. At this point, 1 in 5 Americans placed sports bet in 2024. Americans who bet on sports in 2024 spent on average $3,200. I'm not even going to stand on a soapbox here because, hey, tomato, tomato. Every now and then I buy a lottery ticket. Maybe this is it for you. But if you're spending 3,000 on sports betting, you better have, I mean, your money better be in order. You better be maxing out your 401k. You better have 6 months expenses saved up. Your children better have 529 savings account. Your savings account better be heavy if you're spending 3,000, regardless of how much you make. Because once again, it's not about how much you make, it's about how you manage what you make. If you're spending that much, the only way you can justify that is that you've checked all the other boxes. You can still enjoy the sports without the betting. You can still enjoy it without putting money down. If you must put money down, make it very, very little. There's no reason why it should be up to 3,000. Nothing justifies spending that much money. I would rather put my money in something that I know most guaranteed will get me returns on my investment. Nothing hurts more than going through your expenditure, say 6 months into the year, and realize you've been paying 1999 for something you haven't used all year. 1999 times 6 plus 1 carry 5. That's a lot of money. That is just money you've just thrown away. It would have been better off if you took that money, give it to a homeless person you saw on the road, than to just keep paying this industry or this company for something you weren't using. You were just giving them money. Not worth it. So unused subscription, unused services, it is not worth the money. Go through your expenses, go through your credit card statements, your bank statement, or just go into Amazon and take a look at your subscription and catch those subscription that your kids have signed up for that one time you give them your phone when you were out in public to distract them or to while away time and they signed up for something you didn't even realize they signed up for. This is it. This is my list of items that are no longer worth the money. And this year we are not going to be wasting money because New World Order, they say. But anyway, add on to the list in the comment section if there's something I have missed or something I did not mention. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.